Ravens fans, I woke up and saw one of the craziest Ravens stories I've seen this offseason because somehow people are seriously talking about Lamar Jackson being traded. Not only that, some reports are connecting Lamar to the Philadelphia Eagles, and honestly, I think this entire conversation is ridiculous. Because if you know anything about the Baltimore Ravens, you know Lamar Jackson isn't going anywhere. I will be breaking down the Lamar Jackson trade rumors, why they absolutely make no sense, what NFL executives are saying, why Eagles fans are dreaming, Ben Roethlisberger taking shots at the Ravens once again, and a potential trade target that could actually make sense for Baltimore. Now let's start with the biggest story, the Lamar Jackson rumors. Some articles and NFL insiders floated the possibility that if contract issues ever surface, the Eagles could pursue Lamar Jackson, and even some NFL executives even talked about, the speculation of future trade request scenarios. And immediately, social media exploded because anytime Lamar Jackson's name appears in a trade rumor, people lose their mind. But here's my issue. Most of these discussions completely ignore reality. They ignore what Lamar means to Baltimore, they ignore what he's built here, and they ignore how the Ravens actually operate as an organization. Let's be honest, the Ravens spent years trying to find a franchise quarterback. Years. Then they drafted Lamar Jackson. Since then, MVP, AFC Championship appearance, playoff appearances, one of the most exciting players in football, one of the biggest faces in the NFL. Why would you trade that? Seriously. What exactly are you getting back that replaces Lamar Jackson? 3 first-round picks? 4 first-round picks? It doesn't matter, because finding another Lamar Jackson is nearly impossible. Players like this don't grow on trees. You don't accidentally stumble into another MVP quarterback. The Ravens know that, the front office knows that, the coaching staff knows that, and the Ravens fans definitely know that. And honestly, I think the most interesting part about this story isn't the rumor itself. That's why these rumors keep happening, because every offseason, people outside of Baltimore always convince themselves that Lamar Jackson is somehow available. But I think that's because people don't fully understand what Lamar means to this franchise. He's not just a quarterback, he's the identity. He's the face of the organization. He's the player everything revolves around. So when fans from other teams start building fantasy trade packages, that's really what this is, a fantasy. Because Baltimore isn't looking for a quarterback, they already have one, and he's one of the best players in football. And here's another reason why I can't take these rumors seriously. Look at the timing. The Ravens aren't rebuilding, they aren't starting over, they aren't tearing down this roster. They're trying to win the Super Bowl right now. They just added Trey Henderson, they bought back Calais Campbell, they continue investing around Lamar, and that's what makes these trade conversations so bizarre, because usually teams trade their franchise quarterbacks when they're headed towards a rebuild. Baltimore is doing the exact opposite. They're pushing all their chips towards winning. So when I see people talking about Lamar leaving, I honestly wonder if they're paying attention to what the Ravens are actually doing. But while talking about people not actually paying attention to what the Ravens are doing, let's discuss Ben Roethlisberger. He recently suggested that the Ravens could be headed in the wrong direction. He talked about the Ravens potentially taking a step back. And honestly, as Ravens fans, we all heard this story before. Every year, someone predicts the Ravens are going to decline. Every year, someone says Baltimore is overrated. Every year, someone says Lamar can't do it. And every year, Baltimore finds a way to stay competitive. Look at this roster. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Kyle Hamilton, Roquan Smith, Marlon Humphrey, Nnamdi Badabike, Trey Henderson, Calais Campbell. And that's before we talk about the younger players developing. This isn't a roster that's falling apart. This is a roster that's trying to win a championship. Now, does Baltimore have questions? Absolutely. Every team does. But the idea that the roster is subtly collapsing, I don't see it. And honestly, comments like Big Ben might actually help the Ravens, because great teams look for motivation. They look for reasons to stay hungry. They look for reasons to stay focused. And if players hear people saying they're declining, that becomes fuel, that becomes motivation, that becomes bulletin board material. Now, there's one smaller story that's worth mentioning. Kayshon Boutte. Some analysts have suggested that he could be an interesting buy low trade target for Baltimore. And honestly, this is the type of move I could actually see happening. Low risk, potential upside, still young, still talented, and if the price is right, why not explore it? But compared to Lamar Jackson trade rumors, this is the kind of rumor that actually feels realistic. So at the end of the day, here's my biggest takeaway. The Lamar Jackson trade rumors absolutely make no sense. The Ravens aren't trading him. Lamar doesn't sound unhappy. This team believes it can win now. And Lamar sounds excited about where this offense is heading. Meanwhile, Ben Roethlisberger is predicting a decline, and maybe he's right, maybe he's wrong. But personally, when I look at this roster, I don't see a decline. I see a team that's still chasing a Super Bowl. And I see a quarterback who sounds more excited than ever. But I want to hear from you, Ravens fans. What's the craziest Lamar Jackson trade package you ever seen? Would you trade Lamar for any offer? And how wrong do you think Ben Roethlisberger is about the Ravens? Drop your comments below, like, share, and subscribe, and I appreciate you all for watching the videos on Gridiron Flock TV. I'm gonna continue to bring you all the updated news when it comes to the Ravens, and you already know, we out.